Welcome you all to class of fluid mechanics. Today we will have discussion about capillarity. In the previous few fluidcast classes, we have covered what is fluid mechanics, properties of fluid mechanics, uh, about viscosity and surface tension, those things. But today we will cover a phenomenon called as capillarity, which is uh, which happens due to surface tension. So, what do you mean by capillarity? I will define it first. Capillarity is a phenomenon of rise or fall of liquid. It is a phenomenon of rise and fall of liquid surface in a small tube relative to adjacent general level of liquid when the tube held vertically in the liquid. That means suppose you can see this figure. You have liquid in this container and you are inserting a small tube. This tube, this is your tube. You are inserting this tube inside the liquid and it has a smaller diameter, a very smaller diameter as compared to the container. So what happens? Your liquid level will rise to a certain height. Here it has rise to a height of h. In some case, in certain liquids, you will see the liquid level will fall than the liquid level present in the container. This phenomenon is called as capillary rise or capillary fall or capillary depression. Capillary fall is otherwise called as capillary depression. And where the liquid level rises, that phenomenon is called as capillary rise. Where the liquid level falls, that phenomenon is called as capillary depression or capillary fall. So, first question arises in our mind: why this happens? This happens because of surface tension. This happens because of surface tension. So, surface tension is primarily responsible for this capillarity phenomenon. Our plant kingdom, every element of that plant kingdom depends on the phenomenon of capillarity. They take water from soil by means of capillarity. So the diameter of the capillary tube, the smaller the diameter of the capillary tube, the higher will be the rise. In case of water, I am talking about. In case of water, you will find capillary rise. So let us discuss how these things are happening. So we'll discuss it step by step. First thing, we'll discuss about capillary rise. So for capillary rise, we know that capillary rise happens in water. So we'll discuss about that. So expression of capillary rise, you consider a small glass tube of diameter d opened both opened at both the ends, whose both ends are open, is inserted into the water, and this is the container. This is the container which contains the water, and the liquid level is still this. The liquid level is still this height, and you inserted this glass tube of diameter d, whose both sides are open, into the liquid. What happened? You have seen a sudden rise in the level of liquid in the capillary tube. Why that is happening? That is happening because of the unbalancing forces. where that unbalancing forces are coming into play. The unbalancing forces are two forces in case of capillary rise. First unbalancing force is, that is the force due to surface tension. I am writing it as ST, surface tension. And the second unbalancing force is weight of liquid in capillary tube. So initially, when the liquid is in container, the surface tension force was very small. So it was not being able to lift the water. But when it is inserted into, when the glass tube is inserted into the water, so the surface tension force becomes higher as compared to the weight of liquid that is trapped inside the glass tube. The surface tension force gets higher as compared to the weight of the liquid captured in the glass tube. So what happens? To balance the force due to surface tension, more weight of liquid will come into the glass tube. So what will happen? Finally, a point will come where the force due to surface tension will balance with the weight of liquid in capillary tube. At that point of time, your liquid level will stabilize, and that is always at certain height from the original level. This is called as capillary rise, and the reason behind the capillary rise is ultimately surface tension. So you come to this case where your container have a liquid, that liquid is water, and small glass tube of diameter d is inserted in that water, and you have seen a rise of small h, and the surface tension force is sigma, that is acting at, you know that surface tension act where two different materials are in contact. So it will always act at a contact point, that is the contact point between the glass and water. The surface tension act with the glass surface at an angle theta. The theta is this angle. This angle is theta. So we know that weight, this is the unbalanced weight, which will always act vertically downward. So what will be balanced by that? The weight will be balanced by a force of surface tension. That is the vertical component of force of surface tension. That is sigma cos theta. So weight will be balanced by the extra weight, the extra liquid that is present inside the capillary will be balanced by sigma cos theta. That is the vertical component. You know that thing. As sigma is acting like this, if this is a glass tube and sigma is acting like this is theta angle, sigma is acting like this, then you will get two components, that is sigma sine theta, and the vertical component is sigma cos theta. So here sigma cos theta will balance the weight, and that is the force responsible for this capillary rise. So from this we have two forces in our mind, that is force due to surface tension, and second one is your weight of the liquid in the capillary tube. So we know that sigma is the surface tension of the liquid, theta is the angle of contact between liquid and glass tube. So weight of the liquid in the glass tube, two forces. First force is, this is the first force. First force is our weight. So that is the weight. We know that our specific weight, how this expression came, that V rho G, how this expression came, I am explaining. We know that specific weight is equals to weight by volume, if you remember this thing. Okay. Then weight is equals to specific weight into volume. We know that specific weight in terms of density is rho G, then your volume. So we can say weight is equals to rho GV or V rho G. V is your volume. Here V is volume. So weight of the liquid in the tube is equals to volume into density into acceleration due to gravity. Our volume is pi by 4 d square into h, that is the volume of the cylinder. As the capillary tube is in the form of cylinder, so we have put the formula like this. Then rho, then g. Rho is density, g is acceleration due to gravity. Then the second force. What is the second force? That is the vertical component of surface tension, as I have already mentioned. And that is sigma. Sigma is our surface tension, and we know that force due to surface tension is equals to sigma into length, and that length is circumference. And as the vertical component is cos theta, sigma cos theta, we can say sigma cos theta into L or sigma into L cos theta, because we are considering force. So sigma into circumference is pi d into cos theta, that is our equation 2. And the first force is the equation 1. So we got two forces, that is first force is weight of the liquid inside the tube, that is your pi by 4 d square h rho g, and second force is vertical component of the surface tension force, that is sigma pi d cos theta. So we know that as the liquid level has been stabilized at certain point h, so our forces are balanced. So at equilibrium, our equation 1 will be equals to equation 2. From this, we can say we have put the value of equation 1, pi by 4 d square h rho g, and equation 2, sigma into pi into d into cos theta. From this, we got the value for capillary rise. From this, we got the value for capillary rise. That is 4 sigma cos theta by rho GD. What is that value? 4 sigma cos theta by rho GD. That is the value or expression for capillary rise. For water and clean glass tube, this is the overall expression for every liquid that is undergoing rise. So for water and clean glass tube, our theta is equals to 0. So cos theta, you know that cos 0 is equals to 1, cos 0 degree is equals to 1. So our expression becomes 4 sigma by rho GD for water. So with this, we got the idea and expression for capillary rise, and we come to know that why this capillary rise is happening. Then come to the next part or the last part, that is our expression for capillary fall. Why that fall is happening? Why in this case why it is not rising? Because as we are using some heavy liquids, in case of heavy liquid, that is our mercury, what happens, our capillary level will fall. When suppose you consider this is the container, this is the container, it have mercury inside it, it has mercury inside it, and you dipped the glass tube that is of same diameter small d, you dipped inside the mercury. So what happened? You will definitely see a depreciation, or it will definitely see a depression or a fall of level in the mercury. Okay, that is called as capillary fall. And take this height as h. Why that is happening? Again, this is happening of two forces, due to two forces, that is happening due to two forces, and those two forces are completely different from the first two forces. So one force is same, one force, that same force is your surface tension, but the different force is the hydrostatic force. So in this case there are two forces that are responsible for this capillary fall. First force is surface tension, force due to surface tension. The second force is hydrostatic force. Okay, so you see this figure here, the container contains mercury. You dipped a glass tube inside it whose both ends are open. You have seen a capillary fall to a height of h. As the surface tension always acts in case of mercury like this. As it is heavier fluid, it acts like this. So our angle becomes higher. The surface tension becomes like this. So you will get, or every time you will get angle more than 90 degrees. So the surface tension force acts vertically downward. That is why initially when the glass container was containing mercury, the surface tension force was smaller as compared to the hydrostatic force. But in case of this glass tube, the surface tension force gets heavier. So it brings the level of mercury to downward till the point it is balanced by the force, hydrostatic force. Till the point it is balanced by the hydrostatic force. And that hydrostatic force is the force due to if you put a body inside water to certain depth, so you will experience hydrostatic force. That hydrostatic force, the value of that hydrostatic force is, remember this thing, the value of this hydrostatic pressure. I'm talking about, initially I'll talk about pressure, then I'll tell what is the value of force. Here P is the pressure. This is the pressure. Pressure is equals to rho gh. Then we know that pressure is equals to force per unit area, and so force will be pressure into area. rho G H into, and we will derive this in the chapter hydrostatics. That is your second chapter. We will derive this formula. That how P is equals to rho GH, we will derive that formula. So don't worry about that. Focus on this. From this, we know that two forces are acting. First is the force due to surface tension, and you know that the surface tension is acting downward. In the case of capillary rise, the surface tension was acting upward. In case of capillary fall, the surface tension is acting downward. That is why I said two forces are completely different from the forces of capillary rise. In this case, the surface tension is acting, the force due to surface tension is acting downward, and that value is sigma pi d cos theta. And you know it how sigma pi d is the force due to surface tension and cos theta is the vertical component. Sigma pi d is the force due to surface tension and cos theta is the vertical component. And the second force is the hydrostatic force. Second force is the hydrostatic force acting upward, which is equals to intensity of pressure at depth h and into area, as I said over here. So intensity of pressure is equals to rho gh, area is equals to pi by 4 d square, as it is circular area. So you know that at certain fall, that is h, after h, your mercury level, your force due to surface tension will balance with the hydrostatic force, and at that point of time, we know we'll have equilibrium, and our equation 1 becomes equation 1 equals to equation 2 at that point of time, because we got the equilibrium. And equation 1 is pi sigma d, sorry, sigma pi d cos theta, where sigma is the surface tension, pi d is the circumference, cos theta is the vertical component. And equation 2 is sigma into g into h into pi by 4 d square. Sorry, I said sigma, it is rho. So our final expression for capillary fall becomes 4 sigma cos theta by rho gd, which is equals to the equation of capillary rise. You can say which is equals to the equation of capillary rise. That is 4 sigma cos theta by rho gd. But the thing is that in case of your capillary rise, you will always get theta as an acute angle. Acute angle means you will get theta below 90 degree. So what will happen? You will always get the value of theta as positive. You will get the value of cos theta as positive, and you will get the value of h as positive. So in case of capillary fall, your theta you will always get obtuse angle, that is greater than 90 degree. So we'll get cos theta negative, and you will get a negative value of it. That means you are getting a capillary fall. With this, your capillarity phenomenon is completed. I think you have got a clear idea about capillarity. Right now, we'll solve a numerical. So, let us come to solve this part. First, we'll consider what is given. We'll read the question and derive the given data. We'll take the given data. Calculate the capillary rise in a glass tube of 2.5 mm diameter. So diameter of the, I can say these are the given data. Diameter of the glass tube is 2.5 mm. You can see a sigma is in meter. All the things are in meter. So let us convert this into meter. We'll always try to solve in SI system of unit. So I have converted that into meter. 2.5 into 10 to the power 3 meter. That is the diameter of the, calculate the capillarity in the glass tube of 2.5 mm diameter when immersed vertically in water. It has two cases. It is immersed in water and mercury. Take the surface tension sigma as 0.0725 Newton per m meter for water, sigma as 0.52 Newton per meter for mercury in contact with air. The specific gravity of mercury is given by 13.6 and angle of contact is 130 degree. Angle of contact is 130 degree. So we can say D is equals to 2.5 mm, which we have converted into meter. Surface tension of water is 0.0725 Newton per meter, and surface tension of mercury is equals to 0.52 Newton per meter. As well as what else is given? Specific gravity of mercury is given 13.6. Why it is given? Because from this you will calculate the density of mercury, and the density of mercury becomes specific gravity of mercury into 1000. That is, from the formula of specific gravity you can calculate this. So 13.6 into 10 to the power 3 kg per meter cube. Okay, and theta is also given, that is 130 degree. So what formula we will use? We will use that H is equals to 4 sigma cos theta by rho g d. We'll use this formula. But we know that for the case of water, our theta is equals to 0. So this becomes 1. But in case of mercury, you have 130 degree. You need to put that formula. Then come to your first case. I'm scrolling down. That is our first case. So H is equals to, that is for water. H is equals to 4 rho. 4 sigma by rho g d. 4 sigma. What is the value of sigma for water? 0.0725. Rho is equals to, you know that for water density is 1000 kg per meter cube. G is equals to 9.81. D is equals to 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 3. From this, you will calculate the value as whatever you will calculate, you will get in meter, and this is the capillary rise of liquid in terms of meter, or capillary rise of water in terms of meter. Now we will calculate for Mercury. You do the calculation. H is equals to 4 sigma cos theta by rho g d. 4 sigma, this is sigma W, this is sigma m. Sigma is 0.52 cos 130 degree divided by value of rho, this is rho n. 13.6 into 10 to the power 3 G 9.81 0.5 into 10 to the power minus 3. Again you will get answer in meter, and that answer will be negative because the value of cos 130 degree will be negative value. So you'll get answer in negative. That means you are you are observing or you are experiencing a capillary fall. So that means it is getting you are getting the answer in negative. You got the answer for water, and you got the answer for mercury. With this, we have solved one numerical on this also. With this, we have completed our first chapter and the last part of the first chapter, that is our capillarity. For notes, you can find out that is in the class, that is you can find out the notes in the classroom. And with this, I'm ending the class. Thank you very much to you all.